So that's actually a blessing in disguise, I would say, because if he were to be born here, we wouldn't have known about his condition until he came out, and then he started suffering from low red blood cell count and stuff like that. Hi, good morning guys. First of all, thank you so much guys. We finally reached 5,000 subscribers. So making this video to make sure to tell you all thank you, and also to share with you some of our experiences since we started the channel. Okay, anyway, first things first, you have to come here and makan. We are at this Aroma Spices Villas in Tanjung Bunga for some roti and some breakfast. Come, we go in and check it out first. Find a place to sit down. Yeah. What roti you want? Roti canai. Roti canai satu. Nasi lemak dah ni. Nasi lemak satu. Dan itu tose, masalah tose lah. Minum bagi saya teh tarik kurang manis. What drink you want? Teh ais limau. So anyway, we have come here many times lah. This place is quite near to our home, and so a lot of drama has been going on since our Gopeng trip actually. I think some of you might know, I shared in the post that I had a slight accident in my car, which is a pity lah, because I just repaired it the day after, during the Gopeng trip. I sent my car for repair. Then about a week later, somebody banged my back. So now the car is in the workshop and I'm using my mom's car. So I can't really travel that far away because I'm just borrowing her car. A lot of things. I think some of you all have been asking me about to talk about our experience in moving to New Zealand. So I think I'll talk a little bit about that as we have our food and stuff in this video. So the whole thing started in, I think almost 7 years ago. Food came already. Thank you. Oh, wait. Before I continue the story, you all have to see my toasty. I'll show you. Oh, thank you. Drinks is okay. So cute. Oh, so nice the thing. Look at this. It's not tiny. Wow, looks so nice. It's very traditional cups. And this is my toasty. See, perfect. Looks a perfect square. Oh, I'm so hungry. Makan. Hey. This one, the coconut one, very nice. Eat more lah. Other one, nasi lemak also. Try a few things. Usually, of course, my favorite toasty lah. Roti canai, roti kosong. This one, Elsa's favorite. Then some now got special lah, nasi lemak. See the egg, simple one lah. And the sambal and the ikan bilis. Telur sambal ikan bilis. Afternoon they'll cook more dishes lah. The nasi biryani and normal the Indian food lah, the rice. Got mee goreng, nasi goreng all also lah. Even got mee rebus, bihun goreng, everything lah later. How good lah? The dal not too spicy boleh Last time when the kids were younger, they always order roti canai, but they will put sugar. Now I know when you were younger, I said, but now you all can eat curry. It is easy.
The one I like with sugar because I dip the sauce in.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I was telling you about New Zealand. So actually about 7 years ago or so we decided to apply for New Zealand migration, skilled migration, because I'm a qualified engineer. So I had the proper qualifications and experience to move to apply for New Zealand skilled migration. So that's why I actually we actually got it after. No, actually we applied about 8 years ago. We applied quite some time. We finally got it after 1.5 years, which was like 7 years ago. We got our thing. So that was in 2017 or 2018. We waited until the last moment to move. So we moved there in 2018. 2018 or 2019.
I least at 5 years old.
You were 5 years old.
Because I said I'm 5 years older than Isaac now.
Yeah, so 2019, early 2019, I think. Around there, I cannot remember the exact dates anyway, but it was before the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. We packed up, we moved all our furniture and belongings into into a container and shipped it off to New Zealand. It took about a month to arrive. So we were without furniture here for almost a month. Then we moved there ourselves. We flew in, and then we had to look for a house there, everything. So anyway, I think most of people, some of the questions they are asking is like why we wanted to move and why. So I think the primary reason was actually more on education and the kids' education. So some people were asking, hey, why New Zealand? Why not Australia and stuff like that? So first of all, actually I had a cousin. I have a cousin who is in New Zealand, and he went there to study and he got his PR a long time ago, right? And then when he said, hey, why don't you guys come try it out here? And because it's like it's a no-brainer to go to New Zealand because once you get New Zealand PR, it's for life. There's no fulfillment of you have to stay there for 2 years out of 5 years like Australia has. So if you get Australian PR, you need to stay in Australia every 2 years, every 5 years. You have to spend 2 years there, and it's renewed every 5 years as long as you fulfill those requirements. But New Zealand, no. Once you get it, it's for your PR for life already. And the way you have to do it is you have to stay in. The first time I go in, I have to stay in New Zealand for 2 years. Once I fulfill 2 years there, then I get my PR, and then it's for life. I don't have to renew it every 5 years or so or whatever it is. So for me, there was no brainer. Just go there for 2 years, stay. Let the kids study there and everything, see how it goes, start up our new life and then try it out right?
I didn't get to study.
Yeah, Elsa was still in kindy that time, so she didn't actually go to school. Naomi went to school. Naomi went to a primary school there.
You stayed one more day, I would have went for one.
She's still so mad about it. She didn't get to go to school. Okay, and later, don't jump the gun yet. Let me tell the story first. Yeah, so we moved there, and then the first thing, you have to prepare a lot of things. Actually, it's not easy to just pack up and move also. First of all, it's like money and cash, and you got to find a place to stay, transportation, everything, the basics. Basically, you're setting yourself up in a new country. So we got there. Before going, we prepared, I rented a car, and I found an Airbnb for 1 week. So we gave ourselves 1 week to get settled in. And I'm actually very lucky because we did manage to get all those things settled in. Also the location where you want to stay, right? In New Zealand, usually you would find a place to stay where they have better schools, right? If you cannot go send a kid to a school outside of your area, basically. So we selected a place to stay based on where we wanted to go and send the kids to school. And we were also lucky because when we arrived there, we had some very good friends and close friends who eventually became close friends almost like relatives already. to advise us on where to stay, what parts would be good to settle down. So we live around the Northshore area lah. We found a place in the Northshore, and we also bought a car, a used car.
I forgot what car we
We got a Mazda. We bought a Mazda Primacy or something. Mazda is the brand lah. It's like a 7-seater, so I had to get a 7-seater because in New Zealand all the kids have to have their own what is that? Car seat. So it's the law. You cannot drive without a car seat if you have a child. So that's why you also had 2 car seats, no? One for you and one for Naomi. Right. So that's why we chose a 7-seater lah. Then when we went over, Isaac was already, I think about 5 or 6 months. Already 5 or 6 months on the way lah. So I had to go and look for a job and everything. So I sent the kids. I registered Naomi in the school, and then so look for a job, right? And I found the job situation was actually quite tough lah, because it's quite a strange thing. Like you go to a new country, right? You don't know anybody there, and you just go in to try to find a job. I mean, I was prepared to go for a minimum wage job, like even work in McDonald's and KFC. But when I tried to apply for those jobs, I didn't get any callbacks.
You need to go have Kiwi experience.
Yeah, the one thing they said was,
What is Kiwi experience? Kiwi?
your head lah. So anyway, I applied for a few jobs. I could only get jobs which no other New Zealander wanted lah, like those jobs you do at night shift jobs, more physical jobs lah. One of the first jobs I got was working in the post office lah, the local post office, where we do sorting of all these packages and parcels lah. And packages and parcels are not just like, like small Lazada type stuff. They also ship even like, wine bottles. Can you see up here? Wine bottles, and also like vacuum cleaners, electrical appliances and some big stuff lah. So the people I work with, like I'm quite big, but when I go there, I'm like just a normal guy only. Because even the ladies there are so like, much bigger than myself, the Maori people. So they were really physically able to do the job well. Whereas I was, I'm my age. At that point I was already late 40s, 48 when I went there. Already at 49, I think. Yeah. So it was really tough lah. Doing those jobs really opened my eyes to, we are no longer young men, and physically demanding jobs were quite tough to do. Anyway, but we managed to get through lah. I also work as a cook. After that stint at night shift, I also work as a cook. But that one was also part-time lah. They didn't have a full-time job for me also. So, but that all being said, it was a very good experience, eye-opening experience. When you go to another country, you are basically, as an immigrant, right? We basically feel like we are you're a visitor to the country. You need to get used to and accustomed to the practices in that particular country. So just be prepared. If you're planning to move to another country, find out more about the culture, and also you need to know that you expect to struggle if when you get there. So it's very important actually to network with the people there, to get to know your community, join in and kind of thing. And when you first get there, you definitely there'll be a lot of outflow of your finances because you're not really earning that much money. And at the same time, you have to survive with your savings. So also be prepared about that lah. I think that's one of the main things to take away from this. Okay, so what happened next when we got settled in, and then my wife was pregnant lah. So she couldn't get a job because she had to give birth to Isaac. And also when we got there, one thing good about New Zealand is the medical system there is really good lah. So when we landed, one of the first things we did was we had to register with a gynecologist to look after the baby's progress, and they call it midwife. It's not really a gynae, it's a midwife, right? She monitors the baby. They did some blood tests. So when they did the blood test, they actually found out an anomaly with Isaac's blood, right? They found out that he has some kind of rhesus problem, which mismatched with the mother, and we had no idea what it was. I mean, they told us, they explained to us. I also didn't take it seriously because we've been going to the gynae here in Penang all the time, and they said that everything is fine, there's no problem, the baby will be healthy, and because we already had 2 kids, and then they were all very easy deliveries and stuff like that, and the kids were all very healthy. So that's part about Isaac lah. So he was born there, and he got his. We had to fly down to Wellington to make his Malaysian birth certificate, and he had to go along also because we had to bring him because they wanted his thumbprint. I still don't know lah. Then he also has a New Zealand birth certificate, but it was so easy. We just had to. Everything was already in the system. I just had to key in his name and the date and where he was born in computer. Pay, I think, was like $10, 10 New Zealand dollars, and then his birth certificate came in the mail. Whereas the Malaysian one, because we were in Auckland, we had to fly all the way down to Wellington to get it done. So me and my wife and Isaac went. The kids stayed with my cousin in Auckland because we didn't even stay in Wellington. I want to save money. So we went in the morning and flew back at night. So, and also, yeah, my wife also had an emergency cesarean section, C-section. And whereas because the girls, when they were born, were very easy, normal deliveries, normal births. So for some reason, she had a tough time there because the contractions were too strong and it was crushing Isaac. So they decided to go for emergency C-section, and that made her stay in the hospital an extra week or so. So actually, Isaac was in the ICU for 2 weeks, and my wife was in, I think, about almost 1 week or so. So at that time, it was me alone, and I couldn't go to work. So basically, the person who hired me told me no need to come to work anymore. And I fired. No, I mean, I didn't even start the job. It was at a bakery. I was supposed to start work at a bakery, but then when I told the boss there, who was like, I think like Taiwanese or something, said my wife got some personal problem. She said, sorry I cannot hire you I need people to start work immediately. So had to be let go. So I didn't even start the work at the bakery then. Anyway, so 2 weeks. Every day traveling to the hospital and back, and then cooking all, and of course there you don't have those the goilai. So I had to kind of cook all the the ginger and the sesame oil food for my wife, to the traditional confinement food right. So I was doing that for her. I was taking care of Naomi. She had to go to school, and then this girl would be with me whole day She didn't go to kindy yet at that time. But anyway, it was quite interesting time. Very quite stressful. I would say quite stressful. So because you're away and then you don't have like your immediate family, or my mom or my dad, all that kind of thing. There's no support. Basically, you're on your own. You have to do everything on your own. And then, of course, the job situation also, I didn't have a stable income or job at that time. So when my wife left the hospital, she came back. We were already discussing like, hey, what you want to do? Are we gonna keep on trying it here? And we were burning a lot of money lah. You know the rental. The problem with New Zealand is the rental there is quite expensive. We were paying about that time 5 years ago 650 New Zealand dollars per week for rental. So every week you have to pay $650. So that's about what? About 3 times at that time 3 times. So every week 1,800 no. Yeah, almost 1,900, 1,900 to almost 2,000 ringgit per week on rental alone. And then also you have to pay electricity and water also came out to I think 300 over 400 New Zealand dollars per month also. Water there is expensive. That's why over here a lot of people always complain about the price of water going up. Oh, it's now I have to pay 20 or $50, 50 ringgit. In New Zealand I was paying like 200 over dollars. New Zealand dollars per month. No. 260, about 2 to 300 ringgit per month on water, right? So just sometimes certain things you just have to be thankful where you are lah. Things are inflation is sending things up lah, but you just have to count your blessings lah, what to do, right? Okay, anyway, so I was talking to my wife and deciding on what was the next step, what I'm gonna do, because she also would have to rest for another few months to recover before anyone will actually hire her, and then applying for a job there will probably take another couple of months or so. And then all the thing, and then taking care of the baby, nursing the baby, going back, and we had to go back for the checkups frequently to make sure he's okay. So his condition after 2 weeks, after how many? I cannot remember the details. After 3 weeks or something, 2 or 3 weeks, his body will start to produce his own red blood cells, and then that would mean that he is no longer in danger of not having enough oxygen. So that was we could take him back after about after two weeks in ICU. We could bring him back, but had to bring him back for the checkups and stuff like that. So at that point, I told my wife, I think have to cut our losses and move back to Malaysia. And this one was the most disappointing because she was looking forward to starting her first school year in New Zealand. My food getting cold. Talk so much. So actually we had a discussion in the family and everybody, and also actually Naomi was doing very well in school now. She was really loving the school system, the way of education, and she was quite sad and disappointed lah. So what to do? So we decided to come back to Malaysia at that time. So I told my parents and everything. Then they were also supportive. I said, you need to do what you need to do basically. Some people, of course, they say, hey, you haven't tried long enough. You already what? But sometimes you cannot be too proud Once you've been there and then you've seen, I don't think things are going to get better, if I stay longer. So that's why we decided to come back after that. So never mind, just come back after. So we actually left New Zealand. We stayed there for about 6 months plus, about six months, more than over 6 months. Packed up our things again, put them in a container and shipped it back because we knew it would take another month for the ship to arrive in Malaysia. At the same time, we prepared to, bought the tickets. Oh yeah, then we went down to Wellington to get a passport for the boy, and they gave us a temporary passport. The brown one, because in New Zealand, if you apply for a new passport or renew your passport, it's going to take 6 months, up to 6 months to get a new passport. And the most important thing is Isaac is now a very healthy child, no problem whatsoever. So for that, I'm really, really thankful to New Zealand. It may not have ended the same if we had not moved. I think the kids had a great time there. I would say this. I think New Zealand is a very good example of money. Oh, thank you. Of how public spending, our the tax money goes to a good use. Coffee is lovely. Cow's milk coffee. So, they had really good, the playground, right? Flying fox playgrounds. I hope I have some of those videos I took. Last time we didn't only use our mobile phone to take. I tried to put it in a video, I don't know whether I have or not. But anyway, there's like playgrounds everywhere for kids. The schools were free. I described to you just now in the hospital. Hospital, schools, education, everything is free. That's why a lot of people say, hey, Malaysia is so good. Our income tax is so low. But the thing is, of course, income tax in New Zealand is higher. But you get all these rebates and you get all these things for free. Even my wife giving birth also was completely free. Isaac's blood transfusion was free. Going to the midwife was free. Naomi going to school was free. Everything was free. We hardly paid anything. The only thing we had to pay for was our own food, our fuel, utilities and rent. That was where all our money went, basically. So that's why after a few months we started to mix around with people there. And that was actually very good. Once you move to a new country, at first it feels very lonely. When we first arrived there, we didn't have our furniture hadn't arrived. Right? Our furniture was due to arrive. So, so a lot of funny stories also. No, remember the first time you moved into the place and then the place was infested with fleas? The place we rented had fleas because the previous owner had a cat and the cat was going outside and coming. So I don't know why it was you and me, right? Or Naomi. Me and Elsa had a lot of flea bites on our legs, so very itchy. Wow, so we always go to the hardware store and buy. We had to go to the hardware store and buy like the flea bombs, then clean up the place. A lot of things to do. So you have to learn about this. This kind of thing I don't think exists here in Malaysia. But so we actually spent a lot of time visiting Bunnings and Mitre 10, right? The big hardware stores. That is like the hardware store is as big as the Lotus or Tesco here, right? Yeah. You will go there quite often. And then the grocery shops like Tesco, they had that time they had Countdown, which was part of Woolworths. Pack and Save. We always, so very funny because you want to save money. You always have to if you find you have your coupons, or if you have certain sales this week, what is cheap, then you buy right? So usually we'll stock our freezer with like chicken thigh. That is actually quite cheap. Sometimes even cheaper than what it is here. Chicken breast is more expensive. So it's quite interesting when you move to a new place. Then you learn all the different cultures. What little nuances and changes you have to get used to. I'm so grateful lah, you know, for all the experiences that we have had with the children, with my wife, and like, you know, what we went through, what we learned. It was really interesting. When you're going through it, it's quite tough. You know, it's a tough experience. But after getting out of that situation, then you have to be grateful for what you have. So I hope, you know, in some way, if you are thinking about moving somewhere, another country, not just New Zealand, any country, then you just hopefully this video helps you a little bit in your decision. I think in retrospect, I wouldn't advise someone with you already have a family and everything, and you yourself are above 40 to move to another country. I think if I had gone when I was like in my 30s, then it would be a different story. But you see, I started a family late, you see. So I didn't really have a motive to move when I was younger. So when I was late 40s to move is a bit tough. First of all, you start to get a job, and you're physically not, you know, not that fit anymore in that sense. So few things you cannot overestimate yourself. So anyway, I just want to say thank you again, guys, for supporting the channel and letting me share some of my stories. Nowadays I feel like I'm talking to friends over, you know, when I'm doing this type of videos, and I get some weird looks from people. Crazy, this guy, what's he doing? But anyway, I'm happy to share my stories. You know, if you all have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them as well as I can, and as honestly as I can. And hope you guys can help promote my channel more, get more. So my next one will be 10,000. Hopefully we can get 10,000 within the next few months. I think cannot. The average I'm getting about 200 to 300 new subscribers every month. So to reach 10,000, I don't know how long it's going to take.
Maybe next year.
I don't know. No lah, we got so fast. Next year February, some more Chinese New Year. And yeah, just give me any feedback, it's appreciated. Thank you so much for your comments and sharing my videos and liking my videos. So see you again in the next one. Hopefully my car will be back and then I can go further for some more food reviews. So thank you so much for watching and supporting us. Bye bye. Say bye bye.
Bye-bye.